Hello everyone, it's Alex of Alex's English class. Today I'm going to introduce you about the small ant. This tiny ant came around 160 million years ago, before the first human lived, and around the time when dinosaurs ruled the earth. And this tiny ant went through time and evolved into many varieties of ants, and every ant species did things like making complex colonies, or maybe actually having aphids to actually eat plants and give them actual delicious honeydew for exchange for the aphids' protection. And most importantly, these ants wage war. And today, I'm going to introduce you the first part of a series. I'm going to talk about the interesting ants from the most interesting ones. And today I'm going to talk about the army ant. The army ant is made for war, as its name, and has many varieties of species, and these army ants don't have nests. It means they don't live in one place, and they actually move around with living nests. When they go out hunting, they make a very, 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 very long line of ants, and then when they meet an animal, they immediately kill it and then dismember every part of its body. Like this, army ants can kill up to 500,000 animals per day. Pretty amazing. Like this, army ants specialize in hunting, like termites or maybe wasps or other ant species. But right now you're probably confused. Why would those wasps win and actually win the army ants, but lose to army ants? Wow, it's actually very different from what I think. That's probably what you think after listening to what I just said. They are big and fierce, but when army ants find a wasp colony, they're quickly overwhelmed. The big wasp can kill one or two army ants. However, they are quickly overwhelmed, and even if the wasp queen survives, they all take the larvae, and the wasp colony actually loses. And when the army ants attack different ant species, they actually are small and can't win the victim if they are big. However, these army ants win with numbers. Like 500 is bigger than 200 and 400 is bigger than 100. They win with more ants than the victim colony and actually overwhelm the victim colony, and the colony actually is exterminated or actually very damaged. However, interestingly, army ants don't fight army ants. When they meet each other, they just pass away and ignore each other. But this is probably because of history. Army ants that fought army ants probably eradicated themselves millions of years ago. So, army ants in the 21st century probably don't fight army ants because they know they're going to be eradicated. And, however, these army ants are so deadly that some species, like the Phaeodole desertorum, actually take their larvae and then escape and then go to a different place and make a new nest. But for ants that can't fight, they have square heads in the worker classes, like in the Phaeodole obtusus pinosa. And these heads, square and hard, can block the entrances, making the attackers give up after a while. But leafcutter ants aren't afraid of these army ants, and their soldiers are bigger than their workers, and it's probably because they have to win most of the army ants. And, however, they have an enemy. The ant species Noma myrmex esenbecii have heavy armor and can win a leafcutter colony, and is also the only known ant species that can win a leafcutter colony. First, when they find a leafcutter colony, they follow the leafcutters, and when the leafcutter ants find they are following, they immediately alert the soldiers, and the soldiers start to get in fighting. The defenders, the leafcutter ants, try to rip off their heads, and the smaller soldiers help by ripping off the attackers' limbs. Meanwhile, the attackers, the ant species Noma myrmex esenbecii, try to sting the actual leafcutter ants to death. And so, preparing for the worst, the leafcutter ants barricade every entrance. However, if they do not barricade every entrance in time, the ants actually overwhelm every deepest room in the nest, stealing lots of larvae. Like this, war is common in ants, but we humans now think that war is not a good thing, and for a time of peace and everything. However, for ants, it's a very main ingredient to stay alive. Okay, today I introduced you about ants, and next time I'll come with part 2 of ants.